In 22 Jump Street, Jenko and Schmidt are back in the 21 Jump Street program, newly renamed 22 Jump Street. You see, it's a sequel, and so no longer it's 21, it's just a number 2 since it's a sequel. You get it. And this time they're not going back to high school, they're going to college. So as you can assume, antics do ensue. This is a review of 22 Jump Street.
What's up, dog?
We're back.
Ladies, nobody cared about the Jump Street reboot, but you got lucky. So now this department has invested a lot of money to make sure Jump Street keeps going. The only problem is the Koreans bought the church back, so we're moving you across the road to 22 Jump Street.
What's going on, guys? It's IAmVeryMoist, and I will be your host and tour guide along this new review of 22 Jump Street. And as you can probably tell, this is a bit different from many of my other reviews and just anything on the No community. And since this is, well, the No community and built up by myself and others, and it's community run, and we're not licensed and kind of tied in with the No yet, hopefully we get there at some point, we can kind of do what we want here. So reviews, I'm doing reviews, and I'm hoping that the No kind of starts to do reviews as well. Fingers crossed for that. But this is the No community. We do what we want here, for now at least, and I'm bringing you guys reviews. So what do you say we talk about 22 Jump Street? 22 Jump Street is directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller and stars Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and Ice Cube. 22 Jump Street is the sequel to the surprise hit 21 Jump Street based on the television show of the same name. Now, I feel it's important to address the fact that I was not a really huge fan of 21 Jump Street. I watched it a couple times to make sure I wasn't really missing any jokes. Sometimes movies you have to watch more than once to kind of get the jokes and laugh a bit. However, with 21 Jump Street, I really didn't laugh that much. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't up to the standards that everyone held it to. So when I knew 22 Jump Street was coming out, I approached cautiously. I mean, I obviously was looking forward to it because the cast, the directors, and just I think the idea is very funny and original. I like the idea, so I approached with caution. I only watched one trailer because that's the kind of spiel I'm going on nowadays. One trailer and done. You can check out my trailer PSA video below for more info on why I do that. So when the movie was coming out, like I said, didn't I just watch one trailer? And so that being said, I really enjoy 22 Jump Street quite a lot. Now, I won't be able to claim for sure if everyone's going to respond the same way about this one like I did, because obviously reviews are opinionated as well as just movies in general. You may not like it, and that's what you kind of got to get used to with reviews, especially on this channel. I'm going to be voicing my opinions about movies. If you disagree, comment below, let me know, let's talk. However, I thought 22 Jump Street was a much needed improvement over the first one, and a lot of that had to do with the writing and directing from Phil Lord and Chris Miller. These guys are incredible. They've done such films as The Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and of course 21 Jump Street. And you know, as far as a sequel goes, because this is one of their first sequels ever, they really pulled out all the stops, and it really had a lot to do with the way they attacked their sequel. Because most movies just dive into the sequel and they're like, here we go, let's go do a sequel. However, with 22 Jump Street, they approached it in a more self-aware, tongue-in-cheek kind of way with the comedy, as well as just the direction of the movie and the way the characters interacted with each other. And that worked brilliantly to their advantage. So 22 Jump Street had a much needed improvement over the first one, and it's just a really good testament to sequels in general. It's one of the first sequels in a while that was really good. Phil Lord and Chris Miller really know how to take a concept that really wouldn't make sense and really wouldn't work if anyone else kind of got their hands on it. However, when they get an idea like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs from the Lego Movie or 21 Jump Street, they handle it in a way that's conventional, works, and is funny. You know, I mean, I don't think any other director could take any of those sort of movies that they made and make it work the way they did. So Phil Lord and Chris Miller are definitely two directors that you want to keep on your radar because they do fantastic work. Now, as far as the acting goes, I mean, what can you expect? It's Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum back as the characters that we know and love from the 21 Jump Street first film, and they are right at home in this one. It really feels like they are very excited to make this movie. They're best friends in real life, and you can see it here in this movie. Their chemistry is wonderful. Seeing these two guys together is just a treat. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I just loved watching these guys talk to each other and interact. It's such a fun movie to watch as these two actors go at it in various weird ways. It's such a weird evolution of characters, and it's definitely one of the best buddy cop movies. I think you could call it a buddy cop movie. I would call it that. A buddy cop comedy movie. It's one of the best in that sort of subgenre, and they do a fantastic job in this movie. They are at the top of their game, even better in the first one. So I loved them in this one, and Ice Cube gets more screen time in this one as well. He is very, very funny in this one, and I loved him a lot. Now, easily my favorite part of 22 Jump Street was the writing. Not only did they find a nice, fine blend of action and comedy, to the point where it's like there's laughable jokes that you can quote to friends, and then there are situational comedy moments that are only really funny if you've seen the movie, and the action is very, very cool, and they found that perfect balance, and that's wonderful. Also, my favorite moment of the movie is basically just the tongue-in-cheek and self-aware writing. It's something that's not really done in movies nowadays, especially with most sequels being very serious and like to follow the same formula, because the same formula from the beginning worked very well for them. Many sequels and threequels, what I call the third movies and franchises, like to kind of keep it safe and not really do anything really crazy. However, 22 Jump Street poked fun at that, at the fact that they want it to be the same. Early in the film, you find Nick Offerman's character being the chief cop, and Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill discussing the success of 21 Jump Street, saying, hey, it was a surprise hit, many people liked it, made a lot of money, so we want you to do the same thing over again, and don't do anything different because not many people will like it then. Just play it safe, make it for the people that liked the first one, and just don't do anything crazy. And I thought that was very, very funny. It not only does that, but it references other movies. They make fun of Channing Tatum's White House Down in it, they make fun of just production money and just the fact that when explosions happen, they're like, oh, do we have that in the budget and stuff? Very, very funny. I don't think any other people could do that as good as Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So thank you, Phil Lord and Chris Miller. You're not watching this, but you made me happy. You made me happy. I love humor like that, and 22 Jump Street handled it wonderfully, and I had a blast with this movie. So now I want to know what you guys think of 22 Jump Street. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What were some of your favorite moments? Please do not, spoil in the comments. And please sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe.